Good evening, Mike the MC, bringing another self-care video. Today I'm going to share from another book. I know I'm adding all these books now to my channel, but another idea from one of my favorite authors, Maria Konnikova, from The Biggest Bluff. Basically, she's a famous poker player. Some of you may have known her, maybe not, but that's okay, because this idea that I'm going to share with you is the hopeful outcome and why it's healthy to take a little bit of a gamble sometimes in life to help us with the uncertainty that we face in situations. And I think this is a great topic to reflect on and to remember, hey, we can put our faith in the wrong numbers, and sometimes they really do give us a bad result, and it's a major cost that'll hurt us in the long run. So let's see how we can even out the playing field and really become, involved with our life through the use of a helpful gamble. All right, so let's get this topic started. So this is the book, The Biggest Bluff by Maria Konnikova. It's a good book. I'm liking the read so far. But basically, with regard to the point of hopeful outcomes, she mentions that from Immanuel Kant in the book, he proposes betting as the antidote to the greatest ill of society, which is a false confidence bred from an ignorance of the probabilistic nature of the world, from a desire to see black and white, rather than seeing rightly what is gray. And the whole point is she alludes to the elections of presidential candidates at times where, okay, maybe this one candidate had a 70% chance of winning. And the argument that she's saying is, okay, we equate that 70% with 100% just automatically. We don't have to regard the 29% because, hey, it's outnumbered by the 71. It'll be okay. That person's just automatically going to win, right? There's no way that 29% is going to win. But that's the point. That's what she's driving at. If you recognize, okay, from a numbers beyond probability and statistics that, okay, if that 29% is significant enough to win, just the fact that there's any percentage at all against that 71, you got to be a little cautious and remember, okay, my opponent can win this outcome. My opponent can win the day, this event, this situation. And I'll lose to the other candidate, and now I don't have that position anymore because I lost because of my ignorance. I was not prepared to handle what that other candidate was going to bring to the table, and I lost. And you see, that's the idea of having that hopeful outcome, betting on yourself in the situation with that gray area rather than the black and white. Because if we're trying to look for the certainty in a number, certainty of a situation, and we do all of the back research of anything that we're doing, just to the point where it's like, I can't do anything anymore because I need this, I need that detail, I need this detail. I'm reading between the lines, I'm trying to do everything, and yet I'm freaking out. I cannot focus, I cannot make that decision. You see, you become paralyzed to make a choice. And once you are paralyzed, how can you be effective? Because now you're so stunned at the information that you're reading that you just can't do anything anymore. And that is the ability of being free, what Maria Konnikova is saying. You have to be willing to make a choice right there and just to go for it. Living beyond the emotion. Remember, I'll say that again. Living beyond the emotion. If you're able to live beyond emotions, feeling positive when you make a good trade with the stocks, or making a bad trade with the stocks, right? If you go beyond your emotions and you just have a goal, a choice made, and you roll with it, you may be successful. You may be all right with the outcome because maybe that choice you made really did save the day. It made the difference of your company succeeding or not, of you becoming a success, making the choice to apply for that job, go for that different career, or even switch careers at a time when it's like, oh, I got things going. Maybe I could push myself to a whole other level. And people are looking at you like, oh, you're crazy. Why would you do that? But you see, the emotions drive our decisions in many ways. And that's where the game of poker in this book is really interesting, where she's trying to make this reference to the hopeful gamble, the hopeful result. Sometimes if we become complacent, right, and we want to stay within the black and the white statistics, how are we going to advance forward and recognize when there's a problem at our door and we're not willing to open and check out what's happening on the other side of the door, behind the scenes? And we have to overcome that complacency by being aware and letting go of our emotions, because complacency will breed that idea that I'm safe, I'm relaxed, oh, I could just sit back, don't even have to worry about what my opponent is doing behind the other side of the wall. I realized that I am safe. He can't hurt me. But then all of a sudden, the Trojan horse came through the door because I was like, oh, okay. I welcomed a gift, and I wasn't even prepared for that outcome of my enemy springing a trap on me. But all of a sudden, it happened. And we all must consider that in life with people. I just can recall how when I put my faith in the right people at some of the friend groups I grew up with over time, that I was safe. But I realized, wait a minute, I'm on the bottom of the totem pole. I realized I became the brunt of the jokes. I became the scapegoat for situations, and they talked bad about me. And it's like, oh, see, you got to be careful with who you associate with at work, in life as you grow up, which community you want to associate yourself with at church, etc. Because if you have your faith in the wrong areas, then it will come to bite you. And you must be willing to accept that, okay, that was my choice. That's the other part of that concept that Maria is sharing with from her book. That if you're able to look and hold on to that outcome, accepting the responsibility of that choice, you're able to move on faster than someone who's going to blame it on somebody else. In a world full of distractions, as she alludes to. Because if it's like, okay, if I made that successful trade, if I made that opportunity successful, or I failed because of my resume, I was not able to get the job, the application, right? I'll blame it on my mom. I'll blame it on my dad. I'll blame it on my friend. I'll blame it on somebody else, not taking that responsibility. And by doing that, you are dodging what you need to accept. Let me say that again. What you need to accept. The truth can hurt, but the truth can also set you free. That is beyond being religious. That is just being honest with you and myself. If I cannot accept my consequences for the choices I've made, if I cannot accept the outcomes because of my choices, how am I going to grow? Because I'm blaming it on somebody else, on another event, an outcome. Maybe I wasn't wearing the right hat, the right shirt, the video wasn't going well, and I wasn't happy with how I sounded in this thing. But the thing is, if I get so critical of how I sound, of how I look in the screen, how I look in front of other people, how am I going to make any videos at all and be successful moving forward? See, you got to be willing to accept the criticism of people and accept that maybe I don't always have the right situation at the right time with the video, but knowing that, hey, I can post this, get this out there, and I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I don't have to live in fear or anger in any emotion because I am happy with the result. I am happy that I made this choice to make the video, and that is where you need to be with regards to your applications, career, job. Making a choice in life where you're beyond the emotions, beyond your competitors, at the business meeting, the board meeting, wherever you are in life, and you are knowing that maybe you made a choice that was right or wrong. You don't sound too good in the moment, but hey, you made a choice and it's going to pay off because the result is showing for itself that you knew what you were doing. And no one saw that, but you did. And now you are a success. So that is for me, Mike the MC on Friday. Hope you find this video later in the Friday evening to be good for you. I hope you make a good choice for yourself. Be willing to make that daring choice. Don't be afraid. Don't be confident or overconfident is what I'm trying to say, fearful in that choice. Go beyond the emotion. Trust your instinct, make the choice, and you will be a success. And that hopeful outcome may happen because you did make that choice when no one saw it coming. All right, everybody. Hope this found you well. Take care. Have a good one.